Well, hi everybody, it's Jane from Living Skies Vintage, and welcome back to my messy desk. So, I've been having a lot of fun lately coloring Heaven's cute and cozy coloring of adorable animals, and they have been pretty adorable. I think you've seen a few of these that I've done, but I'll do a quick flip through because I've been working through them pretty quickly. I love adding texture to these guys, and I've had a lot of fun doing different things. I made this plaid blanket and tried to make this a see-through, the basket weave, and try to do different lighting situations. So, this is the one I'm working on now. I'm trying to work on this one, and I thought maybe you guys would like to come along for the trip, so I'll tell you where I am now and what my plans are. I actually have, okay, so this is my outdoors window, and I am imagining that this is a baker. And you know how bakers are. They get up really early in the morning. Let me sit down here. They get up pretty early in the morning to get their baking done, and often before dawn. So I'm imagining that dawn is coming up in the window out here. It has been fall, because it was fall on this last page, so I thought I'd carry through that on this tree. And right now I'm just trying to finish coloring in the walls and the floor, to help indicate where the sunlight is falling in the room. And you've got a couple of indicators here right now. There's this blue cup up here, and then this line that has gone through the tabletop and through this chocolate cake. Now you might not be able to tell, but those cherries do have a different color on them, and the ones in the sunlight have been topped with a little bit of the neon yellow, which is tinging all of the objects that the sun is beginning to hit. So I thought I would show you what I'm doing, and how I figured this out is I just basically take a ruler, and then I do a really light pencil line here from the top, because I know I want it to go through there, and then I kind of guess where the other edge of the window is over here, and just using the same angle I decided to put it about there, so that the bear is kind of entirely backlit with the sun. Anyways, here we go, and I'll get started without yapping too much and show you what how I plan to do this. Now, where did I put those cards? There they are. I just had them. So I've got what I think is a salt and pepper shaker up here, and the sunlight actually just cuts through the very bottom of one of these. So I'm trying to decide what color I should make that, keeping in mind that I also need to color the walls in the back, and the wood panel and the floor, and this pot. But it's mostly the wall in the back that I'm going to get worried about with this particular color. So I'm thinking I might do it maybe this. No, I like brighter colors. I like brighter colors. Let's try doing the barium yellow. The barium yellow and the sunflower. Yes, because I don't think I'm going to make this wall yellow, so it'll show up. So the lighter color of the yellows I'm going to put just down in this corner, and then the darker color I will put up here. Actually, maybe what I'm going to do is I'm going to put, this is the lighter color, and the YR2 marigold is the darker color. No, I think I'll keep it the light, because it's easier to make things lighter or darker than it is to make them lighter again. So I'm going to go with the Y3 in the light section. I just have my Ohuhu markers, and then I also have a couple of Art and Fly markers in here that are some lighter shades that kind of help complete the set. So this is the barium yellow, and it's the lightest of the two. So I'm just going to take where I know this line to be. You might not be able to see that pencil line, but I can. I made a very, very light pencil line and then erased it. So, you know, you can barely see it. So that's the lighter of the two, is the Y3 barium yellow. And then I'm going to take the Y2, because that sunlight's going right through there, so the rest of it is all going to be this Y2. So I hope everybody's having some great days in these last few days of, not last few, I guess, we're still in the beginning part of October. This year has flown by. I don't know about you guys, but I sure feel like it's flown by for me. Anyway, so that's that. And you can see that the line has actually come down here through the cactus a little bit. And what I'm going to do, because the cactus, I used one of my Art and Fly colors, and I didn't have a darker color for it. I'm going to just make a second layer, which is another way that you can create a shaded portion on your alcohol markers, is just by adding another layer. So you see that line there is actually evoking light falling through that window. Now the pot's not going to need anything, that's not going to need anything. I haven't decided what either color those are going to be yet. And this won't be needing any additional colors, but here we've got our little bit of wood paneling over here that we need. So I have to decide that, and it is going to be a wood paneling. I'm going to use my fine liners to actually make some green in the wood. Now let's see, what should we use for? I could use the dark yellow, and the potato brown I think would look good if I used the potato brown in the dark section and then the dark yellow in the rest of this wood board, because I can make that darker. So BR2, potato brown in here. Here you are. And again, so now my shadow is on this side, and you can see that I'm following this line. I'm sorry, but I'm following this line that had been in my tablecloth. And I'm just going to fill that in with my darker color. So that's my potato brown. And then I said I was going to use the dark yellow, YR1, to make the additional wood colored in. And it's kind of a gold, but that's okay. It comes across very, very brown against the other colors, so I don't mind that it's a little on the yellower side. And as I said before, you can always make something darker, can't make something lighter unless you use your Poscas. So there, so that's colored in. You can see that dividing line, and while I have my pen out, I'm just going to make sure that I get this part done too. Have you ever done that? Is colored something, thought you got all the parts done, and then realized, oh no, there's a really big part over here that I haven't done yet. So there. Okay. So I've got my shadow in there. Now what remains is the wall. Now I haven't decided what color I'm going to do the wall. I was tempted to do it pink, but I've got pink right here in the sunrise, so I don't think it's going to be pink. Not pink anyways. I could make it the salmon pink and the rose beige. The salmon pink and then the rose beige in the dark area, which is the same color as up here, but the salmon pink, I don't even think I even have it on here yet. So that could be this bottom window area. And I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put the rose beige at the top in the darkness, and I'm going to put the salmon pink in the light areas. Now I'm just rethinking, yeah, that's going to appear, if I'm looking through sunlight out that window and I'm looking at that wall, is that wall going to be affected? Yeah, to some extent. I'm going to try that. I can always cover it up if I have to. So, rose beige, where are you? Oh, that's one thing. Okay, I'm back. I'm back. That was just a short, quick phone call. Where I forget where I was. Oh, I was doing these. So I'm just going to make these, go over them once. And then I'll wait till that dries and I'll go over it again. Now I have to decide what color to make this. And wouldn't that be fun if I made that in a checkered type of cloth? So this was the vermilion. I'll show you how I make a plaid cloth. So I know I want the lines to be about that thick and about that far apart, and I'm just going to freehand them on this part that's going down the cloth, because you know if I have the cloth lying there that the stripes are going to go down. Most of the time when you have kitchen cloths or tablecloths, your stripe kind of heads down when it drapes over the side. Now, matching that line there, I'm going to do one like this. And like this. And I don't care if it's perfect or not. No one else is going to care. Now, in order to make it checkerboard, I need to get a line across this way. So we'll do one line all the way across like that. And then we'll do one line all the way across like that. And we're kind of following the edge of the stove. So there we go. I made a little bit of a checkered cloth there. I might add another line to it and add a little more detail, but that's basically how I do it anyways. I also want to add on here one button that looks like it's lit up. And then we're going to make the rest of the dials in a dark gray, just to kind of get the stove out of the way. Get it done. And I'm just going to do this on here. I think I had that as the light gray, but I didn't like it in the end. And I'm going to do this around also in a dark color. This dark gray color. There we go. That's looking a little better. The other thing I wanted to do was to go over this edge one more time in this cool gray. Trying to get it a little darker. I didn't want it as dark as the bottom, which is actually that gray color, but I wanted it, that's a bad tip. Let's use the brush tip. I don't have a lot of ink left in this one. I'm going to have to get another one. It's a good color to have. This kind of light gray, it does a lot of things. Now, I'm going to take a little bit of this dark gray because this edge actually should be a little darker. And then I'm going to just take this, oh man, let's see if I can just move it just a touch. There we go. To that end to give it a little more dimension. Alrighty, I've got the stove. I've got, oh, I need to, this should be dry enough now to add that second layer there, and there, there, to make those donuts a little pinker. I'm going to put sprinkles on them later too. That's what I'm going to do, make them sprinkled donuts. He's finishing them, even though his oven is hot. He's waiting to put something else in. Maybe something up here. Let me see. We have a piece of cake or a piece of pie. I think that's a piece of pie. I'm going to make that a blueberry pie. So what color would the crust be? I think for a blueberry pie, I would start, I'm going to start with the sunflower. Oh, it's two different colors. I'm going to put the barium yellow at the top in the bright spot and the sunflower in the darkness, because I can darken them with other colors. So sunflower and barium yellow. We'll take the barium yellow first from the sunlight. I'm going to try and pull that neon a little bit. And then we'll take the sunflower, I hate sunflower, golden crust. And this is a blueberry pie. Now, if blueberries aren't blue, that's a very dark, dark purple. I'm going to put that on the bottom and then put the lavender on the top and make the berries a lavender color too. Change them slightly. P5 is the aubergine, P4 is the lavender. This is a dark color, but I love this color. It's one of my favorites. It's so dark and moody. You can use it to make dark night skies. You add white to this, it just pops. And then I'm going to make the berries and the top lavender, because I can change that or adjust that. There we go. Blueberry pie. I think I colored that. The only thing I have left is his cup sitting in a blue field. I can do orange and red. Orange and red, don't you think? Maybe just, where's that light gray again? Left it out here. I don't think I did. I keep wanting to use that fine point, but that's been flattened. There. I don't think I did that one there. Certainly doesn't look like it. They look very white. Now, I think that if I use this geranium, I think for the top, do I want a red cup or do I want a different color? want a red cup. I like the geranium. So I'm going to put the geranium on the top. Then I think I'm going to give this a, what kind of a plate? What kind of a plate? I think keep them white. I might have to do a little bit of a shading on them, but I'm going to keep those white. And shall I keep that, the rest of that cup white? I think so. Keep the rest of the cup white. And then we'll see if I can shade that so it's going to be a white and red. No, maybe not. I don't think I'm going to like cerulean blue in there. I'll make it, no. 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 No, royal blue. That might be good. PP6. Yes, because that's a different blue than what I've got. Let's try that. There we go. And I can always add a white pattern to this too. And I might. I don't want food on a dark plate. Food always looks better on a white plate. I was taught that. And I just want to put a little bit of color at the top of this cactus. Should be this one. Let's try this. Kind of a yellowy green. There we go. All right. Oh, floor. What color should we do the floor? Darn. Don't want green. Don't want blue. Don't want brown. I really don't want to do an orange, but it would be fun to do a light violet floor. Sure, we're not. Why not? He's got a pink walls. Sure, why not? Actually, it looks pretty sophisticated. I like it. There. Now it's all colored with alcohol marker. So now what I usually like to do is set the markers aside for a bit and decide what else I'm going to do with this. Now I think I want to put a black stripe through this red stripe just to give it a bit of an accent. And is this the pen I want to use? Oh, that's the one that's decided to not work anymore. Let's just hold on a second. I have a couple here. That's the one I want to use. Okay, so black pen. Oh, that's what I was doing. So I wanted to put it right in the middle of my stripes. And like I said before, doesn't have to be straight. Oh my gosh, that's not. But kind of try and go down the middle. You're giving the illusion of a cloth here. That's all that drawings are, is illusions of something in real life. And we just do our best to imitate that, or try to imitate that. So that's that I got. I'll do some maybe cleaning up of that yet. Now, what pens have I got down? Oh, I happen to have my green cup down, so let's do some shading on the leaves, on the green plants and those areas that I've got. So I've also got his green shirt here, and the front is going to be much darker than the back, and it's kind of a, it's more of a that kind of a color, more like the peacock base or the hooker's green. So I'm going to use these to help myself out here. Close your ears. Close your ears. It's an electric pencil sharpener. Okay. Warning, warning. Will Robinson, warning. So this is the darker of the two. And I'm just going to color the front. And this is the advantage that the alcohol markers give, is you can put down much lighter layers of your pencil and still get really good coverage with them. And you see, that's just a little bit of pencil, and look at how much that's changed, just making that a little bit darker in the front than what it was, not being all the same color. And I'm just going to pull the green up a little higher over the yellow, so we get a little bit of a transition there. I think that this was a good selection for her shirt. And I'll come down here again, just closer to his sleeve where the mitt is. And down here, I think, because his arm is going to be covering it. And I'm just going to bring that up. I'm not used to talking to myself like this on while I'm working, while I'm coloring. I'm usually humming or more along those lines. Now, I think I want that olive color for there, and that's an olive yellow. For the dark part of my cactus, it's going to be a little Olivier. Hello, sir. My name is Lawrence. Lawrence Olivier. And just with this lighter color, there we go. That enhances that color just a little bit more. Oh, I don't know, maybe you can't see what I can see in this. But I want one of the, my prismas are all getting very short, so they tend to be at the bottom when I'm looking for them in this cup. I actually have few old barrels in here too. And some Crayolas. jungle. I could use that. This is a old barrel Canadiana. These were good pencils. Don't make them anymore. At least not under this name. Very smooth. And I just want to put a little bit of shading in there at the bottom. And I'm still looking for the appropriate one for the rest of it. Permanent green. That's more what I'm looking for. Tone up that highlight there a little bit. Don't make it so yellow. Make it so like it's shining off the green leaves, giving it a greenish tone. Underpainting is so nice for that. And that's what I did. Even though I said painting, it's actually called underpainting when you put something underneath and you apply something else under top, over top. You can use markers, you can use anything. It's still underpainting. Now, the only thing I have left is kind of a limey green one. So let's pull out some limey greens. We'll do this up here. At the top. And then I want that one. That's better. A little bit of variation. And again, that's easy to do when you have an alcohol base because you just play off of the base. Okay, so just that kind of takes care of the greens, and maybe you guys would like to see how I texture the hair, which is pretty easy. It's just I just do flicks. So here's a number of things I have yet to do, and it'll be coming with the fine liners. See, I can add veins, more veins to the leaves than they already have. We'll be adding some highlights. There's veins on these leaves I want to add in. Most importantly, the bear is going to have a texture like him, in that he's going to have fur that you'll be able to see. And I'll decide what I'm going to do about his apron. I might do some stitching on it, and his mitt, and we'll see what else we can do with some of these other items on this page. Maybe the next time that we get together, because I think this video is getting a little long. So I hope you all enjoyed that. Come back again and join me, and we'll continue coloring in here and maybe do some other items. I sure have enjoyed having you with me, and I hope that you take the time to give this video a thumbs up, and please subscribe. Sure helps me out with the algorithm also if you just leave me a short comment. I would love to hear from you. Anything that you want to tell me, please let me know, and I'll try and respond. Thanks very much. You can also check out my my Instagram, and we'll see you again soon. Bye for now.